Alright guys, welcome to the very first episode of the Project Starkiller build series. This is going to be a pretty easy video, pretty simple. This is all about Antowan flying to Oregon to pick out this bike.
After much debate on deciding what new bike I wanted to go with, of course I ended up sticking with Kawasaki, but you know, BMW was an option on the table. Then there was the Aprilia RSV4 1100 factory, but we went to the Aprilia day and that whole weekend.
Flashback to that.
I really didn't like the feel of the RSV4. The V4 had more of a narrow feel to it, but I wasn't wowed by it, I put it like that. After seeing all the tech specs for the CBR 1000 RR.
Triple R. The Pirate.
The Fireblade R. At that point I realized if I was willing to spend $30,000 on a bike, why not start off with something cheaper and invest the same amount of money into it?
Right, because you were talking about the RR ZX-10.
Right.
As well.
Then came to mind like, well, I'm gonna spend 30K and I might as well spend 24. Or at the time, I found a couple of ZX-10RRs, the 2019s, for around 19 to 22, depending on what dealership was running what sale and I was searching. I searched on Cycle Trader, and then I got to thinking, well, I can even go even lower than that since it's technically 2020. The ZX-10 had already been announced for 2020. The new colorway was out. So I was like, well, why don't I try to find a leftover 19 and see if I can find a good deal on it. All the money that I saved on that, throw back into the bike, give Josh content, and we do this extravagant build series. And we're gonna take y'all through everything that we do along this. Some of it's gonna be overkill for street use, which I don't care. Just wanna do it. We're gonna take y'all through everything that y'all see. You don't have to tell me in the comment section like, oh my God, I can't believe you spend all this money. I want to do it just to see, for the heck of it, what one of these bikes can put out with everything done to it. So instead of going with the double R, stuck with the single R, which once it's said and done, will be a double R. That's that. So after searching Cycle Trader, I ended up coming across a couple of dealerships that were doing 19s for like 13.3 out the door, 13.1. So then I come across this dealership in Ontario, Oregon.
It's basically on the border, the eastern side of Oregon, right on the border of Idaho.
Idaho and Oregon. Called the dealership and I was like, hey, I see you got this ZX-10 on sale. What's the out the door price you can give me? And of course he asked, you know, what I was looking to spend. I told him roughly $12,500. After a few minutes, the dealership called me back after talking to the finance guy, and he was like, we'll do $11,500 out the door. So I was like, surprised. Even after telling him I was willing to spend 12 or so, he still came back with less than what I was willing to, my minimum or whatever. I got the flight, hotel, and a rental car. I think I spent maybe $500. Got that price, then I tried to get a couple of dealerships to match. Couldn't find anything close to match this offer from this dealership, Edge Performance Sports in Ontario, Oregon. So looking at flights, come to find out that there's no airport near the dealership. I would either have to fly to the other side of Oregon and drive across, or fly into Idaho and drive into Oregon. Luckily, the airport in Idaho was only about an hour drive away from the dealership.
And that was Boise, right?
Boise.
Yeah. Had you ever been to the West Coast?
That was as far West Coast as I've been. I will say this, being that far out, it was nice to look out in the distance and see something other than just trees. Because actually looking out in the distance, I think it was roughly mid 60s or low 60s when I went, so it wasn't really bad. But you can see the snow-capped mountains off in the distance, which was pretty cool. When I landed in San Francisco though, it wasn't up to fall. I didn't see anything while I was in San Francisco.
That's San Francisco.
So wasn't much to see there while sitting in the airport waiting for anything. And then what sucked was trying to get video while on the plane, shooting out the plane and stuff like that. Didn't get a window seat. So didn't want to be trying to shoot across anybody or anything like that. Being that guy. It is what it is.
Yep. There's a lot that goes into it.
It's been a long time since I've flown. I can't tell you how old I was. I was younger. I flew United, got to Chicago, and this is the biggest airport I've been to ever.
Chicago's pretty big.
That I can recall. So I pulled up the app. It's like, all right, your gate is at this point. Estimated time, I think it said 23 minutes. I'm like, no way in hell it's gonna take me 23 minutes to walk from where I land to my next gate. But yeah, I had to go from one terminal to the other terminal to get on the flight. But that was interesting. I got lost. I'll tell y'all that. It won't really show in the video because I kept stopping the camera to try to figure out where the hell I was at.
I believe him though, because Chicago is really big, and it's one of those where you need to take the tram to get everywhere.
I think they have 5 terminals.
Yeah.
In Chicago. That was a bit overwhelming. I will say that. I'm not gonna lie.
I could see that, like especially if you're by yourself.
Yeah.
Because you don't have anybody else to talk it out with. You know, you're just like, what do I do?
Yeah, I'm looking on the phone like, all right, I'm here. I gotta get here.
Didn't you say you actually went the wrong way and you had to go back to security?
Yeah, so traveling through the airport, you know, everybody's trying to get to their gate, destination, get out to the ride, everything like that. So it's just a herd of people going, and everybody started funneling into an escalator going out or going up. And I looked just past that, there's another escalator that's going up as well. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm not gonna funnel in to all these people. I was gonna walk a few extra feet to go to the escalator that's open and go that way. Unknowns to me, going this way takes me outside of the airport. So coming back into the airport, I had to clear security again, where if I went through the first escalator, I would stay on this side of security and wouldn't have to recheck in and everything like that. So that added time to me getting to my gate because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So, and then what's bad is going through the airport, I'm looking at all these signs and okay, of course they tell you, okay, terminal this way, but there's no arrow. You just follow the sign until you don't see it on that sign no more. Then you're looking for the next sign. So I stopped to ask one of the TSA agents, and I'm like, I'm looking for terminal 2. He's like, yeah, just follow the sign, go that way. Follow the sign, go that way, and I get to a point where it's like, all right, no entry here. So I ended up having to go out of the terminal, walk all the way around to the other side to get into terminal 2, and had to recheck in through security and all that stuff to get in. So,
sounds like fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It's one of those life experiences right there.
Yeah. So I flew into Boise, Idaho. I have just touched down in Boise, Idaho, however you say it. Just got in a rental car, about to head over to check into my hotel room. And once I finish checking in there, I'm headed straight to the dealership to purchase Starkiller. I was cutting it kind of close because I try to do everything with the minimum amount of days to save the most amount of money. So I got in and had roughly about an hour and a half once landing to get to the dealership before they closed to try to get everything taken care of. About 17 minutes from Ontario. Making good time. The dealership closes at 6, so I should be there a little before 5 to get everything squared away and done. I figured you guys might want to check out how scenic the area is. See the mountains back there in the background. Josh is probably gonna complain because I don't know if I have this camera set on the settings that he wants it to. I've been behind since I woke up this morning, late getting to the airport. One flight got delayed, so I'm rushing to get to the dealership just to make sure nothing happens. I already ran into one traffic jam on the way out here, but we're doing construction on the highway. So. But the salesman was real cool. Kyle took care of me. He knew the situation, knew what was going on. The only thing that sucked about it was I was not able to do any kind of e-signing or anything like that. So I had to physically go to the dealership to do all the paperwork and purchase everything. But going through everything, I see the bike for the first time in person. Everything looks good. So I get there, we're finalizing the paperwork, and they're like, all right, the finance manager comes out, he's like, call your bank to make sure they're aware you're about to make this purchase so they don't flag it since you're out of town. So call the bank, they tell me I'm good to go. I had to increase my limit to what I could spend on my debit card. Thinking everything's good to go swipe the card, it gets declined. Call the bank back, and they're like, oh, well, your limit is your daily limit. That's all you can spend for that day. So after getting the cap increase, it still includes whatever money I spent while traveling. So I had to do the math for what I spent that day, for what I had available. And we had to do 2 payments on the bike. Of course, it couldn't be as easy as swiping the card and going. So apparently my Regions card has a daily spending limit and the bike is just slightly outside of that. So I have to come back tomorrow and complete the purchase, then drive back to the airport so I can get home. The downside is it was a daily limit. So I had to come back to the dealership the next morning. Problem with that was they opened at 9 o'clock. My flight left out, I think, at noon. So I had to drive back to the hotel, sleep, drive back to the dealership that morning, which I went ahead and left out early to get there before they opened up, get everything done, get back so I can get back to the airport, make my flight and everything on time. All that done and taken care of. The dealership actually recommended a shipping company, And after doing some shopping around, I got quotes from anywhere from $775 to $500 to ship it. So the company he recommended had the better offer. That's what I went with. And it took about 4 weeks to get the bike shipped with all of the...
Yeah, this was at the start of the coronavirus. So it kind of threw everything off. Yeah. But I didn't realize everything that you were talking about that you went through, like the daily limit. I don't think you ever talked about that.
No, so yeah, I think it might have been, I don't know if I had it recorded on the GoPro or not, but I know I talked about it because I actually left out and got back in the car and was like, I gotta come back in the morning and finish paying for the bike. So yeah, learned something new as far as that goes. Yeah, the shipping company is called U-Haul Bikes. And what takes so long is they don't just pick it up and make one delivery. It wouldn't make any sense to do that.
It was a tractor trailer, so.
So what they do, they have a central hub. Somebody goes and picks up whatever units they are and they bring them back to the hub. And basically they fill up an 18-wheeler and plot a route out to deliver all the bikes along this route or pick up any bikes along this route and just basically have this whole system going. I actually got a call from the truck driver day before the bike was actually set to deliver because he had actually made a delivery to the Harley-Davidson dealership in Franklin. And he was like, hey, I'm here. I'm out of hours. One or two, he said. Hours. Of course, Josh. Yeah. And he was like, but I'm here for the night. If you want to drive up, just let me know. I'll get your bike unloaded. You can pick it up from here, or I can deliver it to you Saturday morning. So I was at work at the time and messaged Josh and the guys like, hey, I can probably go get my bike tonight, but I have to leave work in order to do it. And we decided it'd be better to try to get the video Saturday morning, so we went with Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I was supposed to be here. I told them I was going to be here at 9 because they scheduled the delivery for 10. So I actually show up at like 9:15, and the bike had already been delivered. He showed up at 9 o'clock.
So I got up Saturday morning, phone's ringing. I'm thinking he's calling to give me the heads up that he's on the way. No, he's calling to tell me he's outside my house.
He was
so he actually parked right down the street, come outside, see the back of the truck. Nice setup. It's basically 2 levels in the back of that 18-wheeler, and he's got an elevator lift for the tailgate door, basically. He actually had his personal bike on, which he had a Harley, and it's probably filled from front to back with different stuff. I think there was like a track toy car that was in there. I want to say something like a Lotus or something like that. I couldn't see it just from how far back in the truck it was. He had one of the new BMWs in red, all kind of stuff in it. So he goes to the back, mine's on the top level, gets the bike, rolls it out. He's in love with the gray color. That's all they kept talking about the whole time he's unloading it. And as he gets it out of the trailer, it's the first time he saw it in the light. He said when he picked it up at the hub, it was all indoors.
I'm gonna be honest, that's the only time that this gray color looks good, is in the sunlight.
So once he got it out and the sun hit it, he was really in love with it. That's all he was talking about.
God, that looks good.
Appreciate it.
It just makes it look faster.
So getting unloaded, checked it out. Everything turned out good, signed for it. Just as I got it pushed into the garage, I heard Josh coming down the street. He had literally just missed unloading the bike.
Perfect timing.
But
perfect.
He was a little late.
A little late than what I said.
What he said he's gonna get here.
I said I was gonna get here at 9, and it was done, or I got here at 9:15.
9:15.
And the truck driver said 10. So I thought I still had plenty of time to get set up, but no. Luckily, he did shoot a crappy video on his phone.
Yeah, because trying to capture something, but I can't do that right either. So I didn't shoot it in the landscape. So of course, his first thing, my cousin and Josh called out on the video.
Jared's like, "Would you film this on a potato?" The fact that you could fly there, have it shipped, and it's still a better deal than anything around here.
$300 cheaper than
crazy.
Anything around here. So
shop around if you're looking for a bike. Don't be afraid to go across the country.
You'd be surprised. And then, shipping's really not that bad as long as you shop around. But shipping, most of the companies are big, so you can get the better offer as long as you shop around. Like I said, the first offer I got was like $7.75, and that was actually from somebody that was recommended on Facebook.
A couple people noticed from the reveal video that he has already changed out his wheels. This is true. He did that like immediately.
Not immediately, but it was fairly quickly. We're trying to record every change on this bike, so it's not gonna be like any other videos you see where we're gonna add this accessory and then you look back and then it's on there. We're gonna actually go through every little thing that we do and try to record every step of the process. So it's not like how I did with my bike Silk, which is sold now.
You guys have probably seen who owns it. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. So when I did that bike, didn't wait on Josh. Spent money to buy the accessories, just threw them on. Josh came back like, so this time I'm not wrenching on this bike unless the camera is rolling. I end up selling the stock wheels to a buddy of mine who's doing the ZX-10 conversion on his ZX-14. Come to find out that his ZX-14 is black and green, so I figured, okay, I'll just sell him the stock wheels off of my 16, which I already have the green rim stripe, and put the stock wheels from Starkiller on the silver. So I just went ahead and put the carbon fiber wheels on this bike to be done with it.
All right, well, lawnmower is going. I think that's our cue. That's pretty much it for this one. It's just mainly just a kind of talking kind of video, but I think that's a good way to start this whole project build series thing. So that is it for this one. This is just talking about how he flew across the country to pick up this bike. So the next episode, we will actually get going on stuff. Now, he still has to do the break-in and all that, so we will have that before we actually get started messing with the bike and all that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you're not subscribed already, make sure you subscribe, because this is going to be an ongoing series and we're going to be posting one video every week until the bike is done.
Until it's done for y'all to see.
Yeah.
We plan on having
these videos aren't coming out until
the bike done. Yeah, you won't see anything from it. When you start seeing episodes from this, just know each week the process is being shown, but the bike is already complete.
Yep.
And then hopefully we can come up with something as unique as the initial
reveal.
So hopefully you guys like that, because that was definitely a step up for Josh, because
I learned a lot.
You guys know he pretty much learned how to do all that within 4 days.
Well, learning, yes, and then I had to actually do it.
Learning, yeah.
There's basically 100 hours in that reveal video, so.
But yeah, he put
that's a lot
into it just to get that video out, and I think it turned out great. Pretty funny to me.
Yep, I enjoyed it.
And then if you haven't checked out behind the scenes stuff, check that out, because as you can tell, I get bored very easily.
Yeah, just riding his scooter. I swear, I don't know how many laps you did around us while we're going over everything. But yeah, so that is it. I am officially ending this video now. We will see you guys next week. Airplanes. I didn't pull it out. Let me see. Yeah. I feel like I'm having to lean over to look at the thing, but I don't need to look at the thing, so it's fine.
Yes, just look at the camera.
Yes. Glad I didn't start talking. And lawnmower cue up again. Perfect. Hold on, don't move. How long has this been recording? 29 minutes. It shuts off at 30.
So as you got through the security checkpoint, they are a lot more thorough here than back home. And the whole X-ray metal detector and all that. Even got pat down and everything coming through there. Yeah, a lot more thorough. I walked straight through the metal detector in Nashville and went on by my way.